think of Galaxy, you probably think of this ethereal, calm, yet whimsical journey across the cosmos. An experience that's unlike any other video game to date, with its own themes of rebirth and life, with its titular character Rosalina being one of the best characters in the Mario series. And not necessarily for being exceptionally deep, but for being an interesting story about a girl getting lost to the stars, and finding purpose and nurturing new life. If the Mario Galaxy movie can capture even 1% of that feeling, I think we are in for a good time. Okay, so they didn't even try. To say I didn't like this movie is putting it mildly. I think I outright hated it more than, well, a lot of things. It's rare for me to feel this way about anything, let alone something Mario related. And before we get into this, I want to preface, if you enjoyed this film, that's sick, dude. Awesome. That's great that you got something out of it. I preface this warning because I am going to dig into this film like a mom finding their child up, grabbing a snack at 3 a.m. This movie isn't just a bad movie. It's a bad adaptation of Galaxy. Hell, it's a terrible Mario movie too. I can't, for the life of me, think of a lot of redeeming qualities here. But hey, I can give it the old college try. So, things I liked. Well, you know what? I can tie this into my thoughts of the first film. Like the first, the animation, it's incredible. They do a lot to make colors and locales pop, action sequences look good. It's a great looking film. And like the first, possibly an even better score. The score is so good, it makes me believe that it was made for an entirely different movie. The first movie was a movie I thought was just exceptionally mediocre, and that there's a lot of good scenes, but they just need a lot more time to breathe. We really have characters just having conversations or dynamics to really speak of. And the heart that is there with Mario and Luigi is mostly absent due to them being separated for so much of the film. But Bowser was pretty fun, and Donkey Kong and Mario had some fun moments, so the first wasn't without solid scenes. So walking into the Galaxy movie, I'm expecting more of the same stuff here, at bare minimum. And, this movie legitimately wastes most of its runtime, and whereas the first had scenes that justified their existence, this movie is just filled to the brim with scenes that add absolutely nothing besides soy jacking at the screen. That's it. It's a Mario thing from the games. Let's not consider the context. Look at that. It's the Mario thing. First opening scene with Rosalina. It's pretty cool. Hope you weren't expecting her to be a character of any kind, because you ain't seen her say or do much of the final 5 minutes of the movie after that opening. I can't believe that the game literally lays out a MacGuffin of power to chase after with the Grand Stars. It's right there, and they're just not in the film at all. Why? Well, you know, they thought it'd be a good idea to make Rosalina the plot device and the MacGuffin of power, because why wouldn't you waste a character's story for that? So now the titular character I was just talking about that has such a beautiful story of finding purpose is reduced to a battery pack. Wonderful! What a great movie! You know, when I wanted Rosalina in a Galaxy movie, I always thought to myself, damn, she'd make a great pack of AAAs. I guess we can also talk about the other character introduced in this film, Bowser Jr. And wow, you know what? I gotta say, yeah, he fucking sucks too. Now, I feel a little confused because people keep saying Bowser Jr. is the best part of the film and he's done perfectly. And I'm like, how? Bowser Jr. is my favorite character in the series, but making Bowser Jr. incredibly competent isn't Bowser Jr. Bowser Jr. is a bratty kid that thinks he's far above what he is. He adores his dad and the sweet idea of the perfect family. In this film, he sounds like a grown-ass 30-year-old who's trying to act like a child, failing to do so because the script doesn't make him sound childish at all. They give Jr. generic conqueror dialogue, and it's just super lame to me because with Jr., you gotta give him some of that clumsiness and brattiness so the dialogue reads that, yeah, he's still a kid. And yeah, the voice means a lot in that because Jr. sounding bratty and childish is the huge essence of the personality in the character. So when you fumble that, that's not going to be Jr. to me. Jr.'s other thing, of course, is admiring his dad. So much so, he wants his dad to have everything he wants, which, to the film's credit, they do keep. In fact, the scene in the movie I can truly say worked for me was the flashback scene with Junior and Bowser. We got a nice little scene of the two of them, Bowser's reenacting his own little story, and, Junior's just sitting there listening, and it's a really charming and touching scene of him just raising him. If this was the heart of the movie, I think it would have been really cool. But of course, like all things, this movie just drops that plotline too right into the toilet. When Bowser hears Junior is back, he is a concerned dad and reform. An idea I think would have worked had they actually stuck to it was the thread of Bowser wanting to reach Junior to teach him that you don't have to destroy everything for him to be proud of his son. It would have been a heartwarming message. However, like everything else in this movie, it's a thread that gets completely hand-waved once Bowser is taken by Junior. So a good half of the film with that stuff doesn't even fucking matter. Because, oh no, Junior, but they're my friends. Friends suck. Wow, I'm a good dad. Also, I'm evil again now. None of what happened before means anything. It becomes Junior just turning Bowser into a mindless evil, which I feel not only mischaracterizes Bowser, but just abandons the story thread for a joke that isn't even funny. All of what Mario, Luigi, Bowser, and Yoshi were doing is just completely pointless. And speaking of, oh right, Yoshi is in this movie, played by Gambino?
Okay, it's childish Gambino, homegirl, drop it like the NASDAQ, move white.
And to the credit of the actors, most of them do pretty solid, especially Gambino. You'd think that's just Game Yoshi with how accurate it sounds. But once again, Yoshi is just the cute pet. We don't do anything of substance with him that we could. Why not play into the fact that Yoshi is a bit unruly and doesn't listen, putting Mario and Luigi in a sort of parental role to mirror Bowser and Junior. And through the film, we can have Yoshi messing up some things but being very well-meaning, and that he just needs to be nurtured. It's simple, but it would serve a purpose and fit thematically. Instead, here's your equivalent of your Disney animal sidekick, I guess. I like the introduction of Yoshi. That's cute, and the little montage of what he does in Brooklyn is cute. I even like the little moment with Mario and Luigi. But after that, Yoshi blends into the background to be used as an extra fighter when an action sequence arises. Luigi? Nothing to even say. Luigi gets nothing to do to be an extra fighter. And Mario? Mario's also nothing. We do this thing where we set up Mario's crush on Peach. They, of course, do nothing with this until the very end of the film because this movie is fucking allergic to these characters interacting or being non-separated for more than 30 fucking seconds. And that's the thing for me, too. I see people prop these films up with, they're so accurate to the source material. And can I be honest with you? Beyond setting, how? Luigi's pretty good, Bowser's pretty good, Toad is fun enough in the first to be equivalent to, like, Paper Mario hijinks. Toad literally does nothing in this movie, though. But in what way is Mario in these movies Mario? The guy who is the definition of joy and whimsy. The guy who just oozes fun. Because that's not at all how I would describe Mario Pratt. Peach is a walking action sequence to be used whenever we need flashy badassery on screen, which, can we please stop taking away girlier traits from characters to make them brawlers? It's getting excessively annoying. Being a damsel in distress does not make you inherently a bad character. Peach is not the fighter badass. She's the explorative, regal, proper princess who oozes class and can have a bit of an attitude to those like Bowser. In the movies, she's just used purely for action sequences, and this movie's version of depth is by making Rosalina and Peach sisters, which, well, to all you shippers, God fucking speed. But how exactly does that strengthen who she is as a character or reinforce the theming? Family, I guess, but Peach's journey in this movie isn't about that. We don't get insights into Peach or how she feels about her family that she never got to meet. None of that is ever done in any sort of introspective way. In fact, Peach's journey in this film isn't about anything because a good 80% of it is spent in what the movie calls Gateway Galaxy, but is actually just a glorified airport. Oh yeah, if you were expecting galaxy things in your Galaxy movie, good fucking luck! This movie seems to reference more things from Odyssey and Mario Bros. 2 than galaxy locales or things. But yeah, in your Galaxy movie, Peach and Toad are in one airport for most of it, of which they accomplish absolutely fucking nothing. What do they do for this time? Well, quirky Rob joke reference. Mario Bros 2, guys, look at that. What was all this for? What's the point? To get information on where to go? Maybe, I guess? You mean something that the Luma at the start of the movie told Peach where to go, and I would think the Luma would have better direction? Whatever the justification is, it's lame, because at the end of the day, instead of all of that, we could have just actually, explored galaxies as Toad and Peach make their way to Junior. Instead, we spend time at an airport! And no, I don't care for that. Take it as its own thing. Bullcrap. You do not get to call something the Mario Galaxy movie and then keep me in a fucking warehouse throughout most of it. It's lame, dude. It's not good. It's okay to say that. I don't know how people are defending the fact that this movie has barely a thing about Galaxy in it. That is literally what it's called. So you'd be less mad if it was Galaxy stuff. Well, no, because this Peach and Toad shit still amounts to absolutely nothing, because they accomplished nothing on their own. And Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, and Bowser staying behind in the first place is a terrible idea. Why are we still in the Mushroom Kingdom for a majority of this movie with the dumb excuse of, protect the Mushroom Kingdom, when this was not a problem in the first movie, where they quite literally all left to go get Bowser? Nobody is guarding this place while they're gone. Why is that a thing in this one? This is just suddenly an arbitrary problem so we can again have montages of, hey guys, look at the Mario thing. Look at the frog suit. Oh my god. I don't give a fuck! Dude, this story is not even a story. It's barely even a proof of concept on my life. We don't venture out into the actual galaxy until 30 fucking minutes before this thing ends. A good 40 minutes of that hour could have been completely cut because it means absolutely nothing. There's no arc to speak of. There's no story here. It is flash shit in your face. This is literally Coco Melon Mario edition. I could not believe what I was watching. What I don't understand is just have Junior attack at the start, and then Junior tries to take Bowser, but the others temporarily stop him, prompting all of them, Bowser included, because he wants to set his son right, to go on a journey to get him and save Rosalina. Bam! Now all the characters are on a journey together where we can focus on one thing, and we can travel the galaxy in our Galaxy movie. But no, this movie gets an aneurysm if an action sequence isn't happening every 2 seconds, or God forbid, a character have a conversation. We can't be having that. Can you tell I hate this movie yet? The final act gets even worse, though, as we are introduced to Fox motherfucking McCloud. Can I just say, I love Star Fox. I used to play 64 as a kid. Grew up on Adventures and Assault. I even like Zero for the Wii U. Video for another day. But why in the ever-loving fuck in a film where so far Rosalina has only been relevant in the first 4 minutes of the movie is Fox even here? Pilot to help them get to Junior. Man, if only there was a Galaxy character that could fill that role. This movie doesn't give a crap about Galaxy. It actively treats it like it doesn't matter. And I'm sorry, but yes, that does matter. The name, the advertising, that is what the movie is saying it is. And it is not that. This is not a Galaxy movie, despite the title being the Mario Galaxy movie. I cannot believe this too. Fox gets more screen time from here on out than Rosalina. What the fuck is this fuck-ass movie? Oh my god! Anyway, we get hype moments in Fox, and then, he's sent to a barrel roll. Get it, guys? Do you get it? Oh my god, do you get it? Who is this for? Kids aren't going to know who the fuck Fox is as much as I love him, and since people love using that excuse of, it's a kids movie, Warner, just enjoy it for what it is. If you can enjoy shit on the floor for what it is, that's great, dude. But as for me, I'm good off of that. You go ahead and you lap that up. I'm good. All right? You do you, I'm gonna do me. I do not like this. No. Kids aren't gonna know who this is. Star Fox fans are getting crumbs of something, I guess, with a fox that has regurgitated Illumination dialogue and a design that makes him look like a pet from The Secret Life of Pets. And Mario fans actively get an intrusion on Galaxy elements, which the film already has a complete lack of. So I have to ask, ask, where did this come from? And why is this a thing? I mean, I know why. It's because this movie isn't concerned with saying anything other than buy Nintendo products, but hey, you know. Anyway, of course, Fox and everyone get along immediately because, you know, we aren't even trying to have character dynamics anymore. So, we get to Junior, and they get turned into babies. And now, you get an intrusive 8-minute scene where we do Yoshi's Island nostalgia bait, breaking the pace of the third act to a complete halt in a scene that could be completely removed from the movie and nothing would change at all. Literally nothing. And granted, that's most of the movie, but this one is one of the most egregious moments of that. I could mention how Toad dislikes Yoshi, but again, it's like 3 lines in the whole movie and it goes nowhere and it isn't very funny, so like, whatever. Then to get to the finish line, we have non-stop action sequences, of which have nothing to do with Galaxy. We do the World Bowser shit from 3D World. We do the So Retro pixel art battle. We do the Mario Bros. 1 final boss against Bowser in our Galaxy movie. Mario and Peach get a cool scene here, and people say, I love Mario and Peach's dynamic. And I just have to wonder what dynamic. 90% of the film, they're apart, and when they are together, it's an action sequence where they don't actually speak to each other. So what's the dynamic? They say 4 sentences to each other in the whole movie. I mean, the thing is, like, Mario has a crush on her, I guess, but that's the extent of it. She gives him a kiss at the end. Okay. Cool, I guess. And then finally, we get Tri-Bone Bowser, and we face off against Junior and Bowser as Peach uses the power of no plot to break Rosalina out. We get Mr. Game & Watch being the thing to beat Bowser, because you gotta love how the thing to beat Bowser is something from a completely unrelated Mario thing. Not related to Mario at all, but this is still the Galaxy movie. This is somehow still the Galaxy movie. And then we summon the dragon from Odyssey, even though there's an equivalent to this in the Mario Galaxy games. This movie's just trying to piss me off at this point, dude. Oh my fucking god. Sure, we use powers from Galaxy here. We even use the red star to fly. But it's literally at most a minute and a half, and that's all we get. We get a hug with Peach and Rosalina, we rebuild the So Retro Kingdom, and the movie ends. And you know, you get a little tease of Daisy, spoiler alert, and I mean, I already know she's only going to be in 10 minutes of the next movie, so what reason is there for me to be hype about that? This shit's atrocious. In a gross way to me, man. I am sorry. It's not like a Mario game. Because Mario games are cohesive adventures where you go from one location to another as we get closer to a destination. You know, you feel the anticipation, things heat up in a natural way. This movie is mostly just doing literally whatever the fuck it wants until the last half hour. I have no idea how there are people saying this is somehow better than the first film. Up to this film's release, you know, a lot of people were saying like, oh no, the runtime is the same. They waste most of this runtime doing nonsense that doesn't matter, doesn't mean anything. So, I'm gonna be honest, even the runtime doesn't mean a whole lot this time. It's short, but we don't do anything with that runtime. Most of it could be cut. I would say only 40 to 30 minutes of this movie is salvageable. At most. Alright? That's what I would say. To make a good story out of, that is all you could do, really. And we need to replace it with actual things that mean something to the plot and actually have to do with Galaxy at the same time, because you can do both. You can. You can do both of those things. You don't have to separate it. For the story to be good, you don't have to sacrifice the fan service. You can do both. You can do something that appeals to the narrative and appeals to the fans. You could do both of those things at the same time. Those are not mutually exclusive because the games do it. The games do it constantly. Hell, I would struggle to find things worse than this movie. Even the worst movies let characters talk, have dynamics. Hell, even the original Super Mario Bros. Film did this. It had a focus. It wasn't a good focus, but it had a focus. I felt like I just watched a long commercial that kept telling me, buy Nintendo, buy Mario, look at these keys. You love these keys? And I gotta be upfront, I just find that incredibly disrespectful. Nintendo found this acceptable to put out. And considering how high the bar is for quality with Mario, I hate the notion that Mario's simple. What'd you expect? At least it gave you what you want. And no, it didn't. This doesn't give me a fun Mario movie. This gives me skinwalkers walking around with Mario iconography in the background, and I don't find that good or fun. It's an animation test at best that looks cool. I just find it boring and infuriating that the bar is this low. Thousand Year Door is a game I never got to play as a kid, that I recently played to completion, and it became one of my favorite stories in fiction. Not because it's so incredibly deep, but because the dialogue is so sharp, the characters are fun, and I feel a part of the world. I get to actually know them, and the world around it, and the history with it. These movies don't make these places feel like worlds, they feel like backgrounds for you to soy jack at, because of the fact that we don't spend any time exploring it. They're literally meant for you to point at the details of Mario iconography without factoring in the story merits of why we're here, when we could be doing both. We can accomplish both of these things. We can have game locations, we can have the iconography, and a cohesive narrative that makes these places mean something, that makes the characters have things to do that ties into a message of any kind. And that's the thing about the Mario movies, and especially this one. The Mario Galaxy movie has absolutely nothing to say about anything. Its purpose is for you to recognize Mario and to keep the brand alive to get you to buy more stuff. Hell, the studio it was made by is the company that prides itself on making cheap films, which is funny because I can safely say this is easily the worst Illumination movie. There's not a solid through-line theme to speak of. No characters have any character, and even the most egregious Illumination films, the bottom of the barrel, at least has something. It gives you at least a little something. This movie doesn't even give you that. I struggle to even call it a movie. And before I get the, you're over-exaggerating, fuck off, dude. Just fuck off. If your immediate reaction to genuine criticism and someone not liking something for completely fair reasons is to try and undermine that, you're plain annoying. Like, you're just really annoying. How does this movie having a better story not benefit literally everybody involved? How does having more Galaxy inspiration for the Mario Galaxy movie, how does that make it worse? Making these movies better just will make more people happy. There's no lose situation with that. But people are so defensive over brands they love, they lack the critical thinking to sit back for a second and instead bring up unrelated things. The Sonic movies do this. Yeah, what a great way to discuss something nobody brought up so you could talk about it completely unrelated to the subject so we can get that one up, for those quick likes. What a great conversation. I find the Galaxy movie one of the lowest of the low of films I have ever watched, and the fact that this has the name Galaxy over it, I know we're never going to get another one. We're not going to see another Mario Galaxy adaptation in a movie form. This is it. And as an adaptation for one of the coolest games I think ever made, this sucks. This really sucks. And it makes me a little sad that Nintendo thought this was acceptable to put out, because it means that they think that this is what Galaxy should be represented by. This is what they feel Mario should be represented by. And that hurts. It really does. I'll just end with this. If you think this is a good representation of this, cool. If it comes short of that, please ask yourself why you're defending it. Please, just ask yourself, sit there for a second, ask yourself, why am I defending this? If I know it's not this, even though it's advertising itself to be this, that's a problem. And you don't need to hide that every time to be like, well, I had fun, and that's fine. You can have fun, but it could be better. You could have more fun. You can be more engaged. We can go further. It doesn't have to stop here. This doesn't have to be the stop. That's the thing. That's all I'm trying to say here. This does not, even if you liked it, this does not have to be the stopping point. We could go further. We could do better. And at the very least, don't you think when Daisy gets her moment she deserves, more than 10 minutes of screen time? Does she not deserve that? Rosalina only got 10, and most of that 10 was her in a box. So let's strive for better, y'all. That's all I'll say. Let's just strive for better. Anyway, again, if you don't feel the way I do, keep it civil. I don't want a headache because I shout on something you like. It's just something I feel. Doesn't mean you have to feel it by proxy. These are all opinions. And at the end of the day, I'm just one girl giving her opinion to the world. And man, this movie trained me. It broke me. These two movies are so similar now that I think about it. This is still worse though. Thank you, chefs, for making it to the end of the video. So 2 very important things. 1, I want to do more stuff like this. I want to make videos on the regular, but in order to have me do that, you gotta support the GoFundMe down below. Right now, not doing so hot financially, and I'm on the verge of losing my home damn near every month. It's pretty bad. So if you want to see more stuff, you want to see more consistently, go support that. I'm working on lots of different stuff right now. I want to get the Has-Been Hotel stuff done. Along with a ton of other videos, a lot of Sonic stuff, a lot of different things on many different topics, even just random thoughts that I just have. I want to make more stuff. So if you want to see that happen, once again, go support the GoFundMe down below. And, yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Thank you, chefs.